Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Michael Arnold 13. What look do I have on my face? I think I look suspicious. When I was a kid, my mom and dad both said that I was really a troublemaker, very mischievous. In Korean, mischievous is like gegojangi, and that means I was getting into trouble, things like that. And I was quite a troublemaker, so my parents and my teacher had a meeting and thought that I would get into some of the arts, like acting or something, and it would kind of draw that troublemaking energy out of me. And perhaps it worked a little bit because I'm a lot more calmer, but I'm still curious about a lot of things. And I have this suspicious look because I found near my house an abandoned office or church or house or whatever it is, and I'm going to try to find a way in. Because today I'm feeling brave. And gosh darn it, I like myself. I'm good. And I'm in. And if you notice, there's a lot of glass on the ground, so I've got to be very stealthy when I walk. You know, there's not a lot of these places around my neighborhood anymore because they've been cordoned off or just plowed over. This is still here. I love exploring. So I'm guessing this building here is, it's one of those buildings where there's things attached to it, like maybe one floor is this and then another floor is that. Like I was in one room, looks like an office, this one here looks like a church. In a couple rooms that look just like a regular domestic living place. Kitchen, bathroom, and a couple rooms that might be like a bedroom. But you have to remember that these were all over this area. Regular looking houses, office buildings, you name it. And this is one of the few remaining because they've knocked them all down. So I'm standing on something that feels like a stage. A very unsafe stage as I walk along and it makes weird sounds underneath. So it was really a daily normal thing for me to go exploring places like this when I lived on the other side of the market. But since then they've plowed them over, you know, I don't know, 500 homes. The way that the floor is broken up here is usually because at one stage of the rip up, they chew up the concrete here and they take the copper piping out. You can get lots of money from the copper. Okay, let's just keep exploring and see if it's something that's interesting. While remaining stealthy and quiet. Off limits. I keep seeing all these creek cats lurking around. And cats here, they don't like humans. They're not domesticated like the West. And they see me and they just run off. They scurry away like a gigantic rat. This looks cool, huh? Can't see very well in there because it's so dark, but there's actually a bed and things, so somebody might actually be staying here, and that freaks me out. Onward and upward. So technically, you know, it's still pretty dry and obviously very warm in here. So one could squat in here. Squat as in not using the bathroom, but sleep here. Just have a blanket. There you go. There's a calendar here, 2009. The last date here is December 2008. I don't know if you've heard of this before, but in English we say black mold. I'm sure there's a Korean and or Chinese word for it. But because of the water and bad building jobs before, there's a lot of condensation. And this black mold is really bad for you, especially for kids. do want to be quiet. I don't want to startle any cyclists here. If I can get in here, I'm sure other people can. Pretty much the same. Nevertheless, still, how can I describe it? It's spooky up here. It's very, very interesting. It's sad. And at the same time, I'm trying not to get caught. Here's a nice contradiction shot. These two old buildings, not that old, but old enough. And they're empty now and about to be knocked over. And here's the newer ones. So on the roof here, this is the spot that I have to be probably the most cautious, because construction workers don't like bad press. So if they saw somebody here, especially a foreigner, they'd probably call the local law enforcement, the sheriff in here, and I'd be in trouble. Here's my skinny legs, and they're made for running in case of trouble. But they're brave enough to make it into these rooms here. People used to cook delicious Korean meals in here. So they used to use this first thing when they woke up. And this is me. I've been making videos of these places for a long time. And what are these places? These are places that have been rezoned for new high-rises. And they will all be uploaded into my older videos. So this is kind of the first one that I've made because, well, since my new YouTube channel. People always ask the same question. They seem like pretty nice places, and why were they demolished? And the answer to that is that real estate in Seoul is big money. So a developer gets his eyes on a decrepit old area, a poor area, yet still some nice neighborhood, and they start thinking, okay, well, if I buy them out for this price, then I can make, $1 billion by setting up 100 new apartments. Though they look exactly the same, they're kind of like, everyone looks like a microwave oven, brand new, white, clean, sterile. Not my style. This is the style that I like, when it was still intact, that is. Now sometimes getting out of these buildings is harder to get in because you build up a little confidence while you've been in here. But who knows, there could be like a bunch of bobbies waiting outside. Now again, I'm walking as carefully as I can. There's glass everywhere because, and it's not kids who smash it out. It's just when they demolish, who cares about the glass. But it makes it a bit of a trap. So when you're trying to walk out, it's just like scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. So I'll try to get out quiet without getting caught or killed. This is going to be and I'm out. So I made it out in one piece, and I don't suggest you try this at home. Actually, it's getting more and more dangerous because if it's shut down this good, that means it's dangerous. As well as police are not putting up with people loitering or grabbing stuff in there to try to use it or sell it or whatever, or people sleeping in there. And there's a few of these around to even explore. But this is very close to my house, so I thought I'd check it out. Well, I'm getting a bit hungry now and hot, and I'm really dirty from mucking about there. So that's one little thing I thought that I'd show you. And I'm gonna get a bite to eat. Grab a nice coffee first and then go for a bite to eat. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for coming along as usual. I'm Michael Arnold 13. Have yourself a wonderful day, okay? Peace, love, happiness, empathy, that's an important word.